Hello, welcome pen friends. My name is Chris, and if you're new here, my channel is all about fountain pens and fountain pen inks and everything associated with the fountain pen hobby. But today I've got some gel pens that were gifted to me by a family member, and I just really think they're really unique, and I wanted to come on and do kind of a first impressions review of these because I couldn't find anything on them, except for I did eventually find out where they're carried. You can get them at Mardell. It's a Christian store, or Amazon, but they're not even all that out there. You know, I didn't see much about them. So I thought I would come on and let you know what I found out about these pens. They are Lifelines Scented Lava Pens. It's a 5 gel pen set. And we're going to look at them, and then we're going to write with them on a composition book. And I've got 3 other notebooks I've written in. I'm a little bit hampered by the fact that I normally write with fountain pens, so most of my paper is kind of really hardy fountain pen paper. But I did find a Jot Composition book that's from the Dollar Tree that should be good just to show, you know, just a general paper, how they do. And I've got, like I said, the other 3. So we'll do a couple comparisons, but again, almost everything I have is fountain pens. So we'll just look at a couple of the gel pens I have, because I have a couple of thoughts as to how they compare to these. And yeah, and then I'll tell you what I like and don't like, and give you a little tip that I found out about in working with these. And I also did some measurements and weight. So, okay, so it's this gorgeous packaging. It's gift worthy, actually. It's really nice. And then, you know, okay, it says, from the creative mind of Melissa Bernstein, co-founder Melissa and Doug Toys. Cool. Like I said, it's got 5 different colors. And so it's got the blue, purple, red, green, and orange. The blue is kind of turquoise rather than, you know, it's not like a dark blue or anything. But okay, so this just slides off. And they're in here. They're in this really cool thing. Too bad this wasn't a little fatter. I could use it for my fountain pens. There are a few fountain pens that would fit in it, you know, like when I'm comparing them. But I don't think we're going to need this. We're going to actually look right at the pens. Each of these pens, this is one of the most unique parts about it. They have essential oil scents in them. So they're heavily scented pens. And it's gel ink, but and it's got all that going on with the lava in the in the pen body. But when you're writing with them, you can smell them. And let's see if this chart, I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but the blue one has, gosh, each one has like 4 different essential oils in it. This has got corn, mint, rose, garden mint, and grapefruit. And then the purple one has rose, jasmine, geranium, and lavender. The red one has cinnamon bark, clove, bud, carnation, and yang yang. And then the green one has eucalyptus, fir needle, and pine. I'm reading it because I'm not sure you can read it on my screen. But the orange one is has orange, grapefruit, bergamot, and violet. And I didn't get along too good with the pine, but then I have allergies when it comes to air fresheners that have pine in it or anything like that, so it didn't surprise me. So there's a lot of elements to consider here with these, and I'm just I'm not sure whether, even with the extra lighting that I have, whether I can show you how cool these are, because they bubble up and they do all kinds of neat things as you're picking them up and writing with them. Let's see if one color or another may be easier to see. So they're very visual, like, you know, they kind of are good for someone like me that either you like to tinker with the pen or you like to look at it. Like, you know, a highly faceted pen, like I'll show you one of my fountain pens that It's just one of my favorites. It's just real shiny and it's got a lot of texture. Well, this pen is very smooth, but it's got all that visual stuff going on. So it's just right up my alley. I couldn't believe it. I walked in, we just went in to just visit our loved one, and I saw an empty one like this laying on her coffee table, and I said, "Ooh, what's that?" Because anytime I see something that could hold pens and somebody might throw it away, I always say something. And she said, "Oh, here," and gave me the one, you know, that had the pens in it. She said, "These are for you." And I'm like, "What? Oh, wow." You know, like, I don't know what the story is behind it, but anyway, they're really cool. I'm just trying to give you an idea what they look like, but it's awfully hard. When we go to the library at the very end, I'll try again over there and see if my lighting is better. But okay, even with all the shininess and all the scents and everything, we want to know how they write. So let's get that notebook and we'll get into it. This is just a plain old composition notebook from the Dollar Tree. It's Jot. Let's see. I don't know that there's anything made in India. So that's, I always like to see where paper's made because certain countries seem to do better than others. But let's just, you know, do a little writing sample. Now, one thing I noted right away was that they post really well, or at least that's what we call it in fountain pen terminology. I don't know what people that like gel pens, I don't know. So you're not dealing with a clicker. You're dealing with a cap that you want to take care of. So I do post them so I don't lose them. But let's see. I guess we'll just do like a little caption here at the top. Well, what do I want to put? Lifelines. They're called Lifelines. And they're very smooth, but we're going to find out together whether they bleed through this paper. I already know what's going on with the little bit better fountain pen paper, but we'll find out about this. Scented Lava Pens. Oh, my writing's not great, but they feel very smooth. So we'll do each one. We'll just do a little writing sample, and they're calling this one In Bloom. I call it purple. And when I was writing with them earlier, I was really smelling the scent, especially the green one. The green one was really annoyed me. The others didn't bother me, but I'm not great with scent. That's not going to be a pull for me as far as these go. I think they've just got so much going on in them. I kind of try to avoid the smell, but I didn't have any trouble except for the green ones. So let's see. I'm not sure. We'll just do my standard. And the quick brown fox. Now online, I found out that these are 0.77. So that's the, you know, the thickness of the writing. So that's pretty close to like a Papermate Ink Joy gel, which this is a 0.7. But we'll do that when we do the comparisons. Oops, over. Not lazy dog. Yeah, I'm almost like not sure how to hold it because I write with fountain pens so much. And I will bring to your attention, there's a kind of a little step down, at least that's what we call it in fountain pens. So you've got your grip and you could grip up here above it, but I want to be down here, and that bothers me just a little, but not, you know, I'm not planning on writing a book with these anyway. I just like to use color in my bullet journal, really. And that, I should have that out. We may get that out too. Although my bullet journal is such good paper, there's no way these are going to bleed through them. I know that already because it's 120 GSM Leuchtturm paper. Okay, so there's the purple one. And we'll write with each one. The next one is the blue one. And they are calling this Fresh. I'll just call it blue. Yeah, it has a nice, really smooth, they write really smooth. I'm really impressed. That's one of the reasons I came on to do this. Because I thought if people were even noticing them in the store or something and didn't know anything about them, it might be good if there was at least one review around. Fox, and there may be, but it cued in as the name that they put on it, Lifelines Scented Lava Pens. I couldn't find anything in a very quick search, so don't quote me, but jumps over the lazy dog. I like to do pen tests in the back of my notebooks anyway, and okay. I don't want this to take all day. That's why I did the others. And there's one more thing before we finish that I'll bring to your attention, but I think we'll just finish this real quick. We may not do the whole. Okay, they call this one Woodsy. I'll post it. And it's green. Oh, my handwriting is just going downhill as we go. Yeah, real pretty colors. Nice and bright. There was a little bit of a thing when I got them home, because then my husband wanted some too, and he said, well, give me one, and then he said, give me two, and so we were trying to decide which colors. You know, I wanted the purple for sure, and I wanted the red, so we're still working that out. He said, take them and do your review, and then we'll continue. Citrus, unless we can find some. Orange. I found that they were like retailing, suggested retail was $19.99, so that makes them $4 each. But we'll get into that when we get, my final page there has a lot more details, but and he was telling me that he felt like this one had a finer writing, but I was really looking at it, and I think it's the color, because when I did my writing, I was checking it to see how much was still on the page. I was trying to, now this is not smearing, so this is really, really good. My fountain pen paper, the ink sits on top of it and takes a little longer to dry, but this is actually, if it doesn't turn out to be bleeding through, then this notebook would be a good option for these. Okay, and last but not least, this is the red one. What did they call this one? Spicy. Spicy. Red. Yeah, I really like the red for correcting or for going in and highlighting something in my bullet journal. Yeah, you could see I've given up on given up on sentences, but that's okay. I really want to know just whether or not it's bleeding, they're bleeding through. So let's find out, and we will find out together. Okay, yeah, this paper's not great for this. It's what I would call heavy seepage. It's not, there's a couple of dots where it's real bleed through. I hope you can see that. But they do put down a lot of ink, so I'm not surprised. You could get away with it if you weren't fussy like me. I don't like that much, I don't mind ghosting, but I don't like to have seepage where then it might interfere on the back, or, you know, on the front if I write back here. But we've got some better paper to look at, so let's look at that. Okay, the next one I have is the Hobonichi Weeks, and it's my 2024 Hobonichi Weeks planner. I just took a page and wrote on it, and they really got along good on this paper. The only thing is, these are quite wide of a width for a gel pen for this paper, and you know, this paper, it takes longer to dry, and we did get a little bit of seepage too. Yeah, I wasn't thinking they would just be the best for this, but it's good to know anyway. Okay, so then next is a paper that I don't believe they went through, but let's look. This is a CVS Caliber notebook, and this paper is quite good, and it is the paper made in Vietnam, and I get it in the CVS drugstore. So here we are. I did kind of a little chart. I'm gonna have to put it sideways, you know, to do each color, and you get ghosting, you get, it's acceptable to me. I'm not seeing anything there that would really, really bother me, but they're pretty they really put down the ink. They really do, and I like that because that makes it smooth and that makes it flow, but you have to be then thinking about your paper, that's all. And we all have to think about paper if we're picky about bleed through. So the last but not least is kind of a special notebook. This is a Rhodia meeting book, and I think this is, yeah, this is Premier 90-gram paper. So this is really nice paper. And it was super smooth on this paper. These pens really like this paper. And there's a lot of stuff that we're going to go over here. And we got absolutely no seepage, no bleed through, and really not any ghosting to even speak of. So the Rhodia, it likes really good hardy paper, is what I would say. So let's see. This is the page that I kind of wanted to land on to talk about things. But before we do this, I want to show you what happened to me. Now, I'm sitting there on my loved one's couch, and I right away opened one because I couldn't stand it. And she said, here's an envelope, you can write on it. And I opened this one, and there was a little ball on the end of the pen. So I took it off. I thought it was just like what you get on the InkJoy. You get a little rubber ball that protects the tip and keeps it from drying out, right? So I took it off, and they have a dog. So right away I went and threw it in the garbage. And, I didn't open the rest of the pens till I got home. So, I wrote with it and was scribbling. I was like, wow, it has real good flow and everything. And then I got home and I opened the purple one. And there was no protective ball. The ball was down here inside. And not only that, but there's a hole on the top. And I thought, oh, so right away I went and got the green one. And of course I've got a piece of tape. You can't see it, but I've got a piece of tape over that. But I blew into it and air came out, and I thought, oh no, my pen's going to dry out, and there's no way I'm going to go dumpster dive back in her kitchen trash for that. So far, it's like, what, 2 nights, and it's not dried out. But I'm not sure, because there's nothing there. Unless I were to try to make something to put there. But each pen has that little, tip, the color of the pen. Let's see. I guess you can kind of see them. So I guess you could say I ruined the green one, but I'm not sure because I still don't understand why this one hasn't dried out yet. That puts a lot of air around it, but it caps nicely. So I'm working with that little bit of, handicap there. Anyway, I thought you deserve to know about that because after all, these pens are $4 each. I'm not sure why that one's the only one that came out, but it literally just came right out on the tip. It didn't stay where it was supposed to be. There's kind of a area there for that to be wedged into. And so it's supposed to, I believe it's supposed to stay in there. And then that protects the tip even more. But why they would put a hole in the top of the pen, that does not seem good. It doesn't seem great. But anyway, let's look at the overview here. You get the 5 pens, and they all have that neat, lava stuff that's kind of swirling around in the pen. And it's really hard to do them justice. They're quite pretty compared to what I can show. Okay, so there was my little caution about the seal ball coming out of one of them. Okay, so what do I like? I like that they're really smooth. They write smoothly. And they're beautiful pens. They're super pretty. Really something to look at. Kind of a conversation piece almost, And it's substantial. So, and quite interesting and shiny. But and then the size, they're big. If you compare it to a Papermate InkJoy, it's about another, I guess, 1/2 inch. Maybe not quite a 1/2 inch if you're going all the way to there. But anyway, I've got some measurements. And it posts really easily. I mean, you won't lose the cap if you do that. And yeah, they're fun and unique. And I added in later, they're giftable. I feel like, it comes in, who cares about the packaging unless you're giving it as a gift. And so I think that that's worth mentioning because for your pen-loving people, I mean, what a gift, right? Really a neat thing. So, okay. So on the other side, as far as things I didn't like, I did not like that they acted differently. That the one came out and kind of fooled me, and I thought it was just a tip protector. I also think they're a little bit expensive, but then again, there's a lot of materials in this. So, you know, maybe $4 is not unreasonable. I haven't actually bought any of these other pens that we'll look at in a minute. I haven't bought non-fountain pen pens at all in the last several years, really, so I don't know. Before I came into fountain pens in 2016, you know, I was frustrated over like $3 a piece for a good gel pen. So, you know, that's where I'm coming from. Okay, the other thing that's a little bit of a criticism is the step down there could bother some people. Let's see if we can really show that. It's significant. It's smooth. It's not going to cut your finger or anything, but you have to decide if you're going to be way down here, or you're going to go way back up here, or you're going to just be kind of like me on top of the whole mess. So, you know, that's just something to think about. The beauty of the pen might override that for you, though. Okay, for me, the really strong scent, especially on the green one, that's like pine, whoo, I got to kind of keep my head up as high as I can for my writing because I don't like the scent of the pine. The rest of them I can manage, but I will have to kind of see how it goes as I go along because allergies are a thing that it builds. So if I expose myself to it a lot, then I could end up sneezing or, you know, having itchy throat or whatever. Okay, and the last criticism on my part was I would have liked there to be a black pen involved in the set too. Color's great and I love color, but with gel pens, I like to have a black pen too. And I noticed on Amazon they had some. I think it was like a black one and a red one. They're not exactly like this, but it's the same company, Lifelines, and they had two pen sets. So that was interesting to me. So if you just compare them to just a few that I have laying around, because I really don't have very many. I've got the turquoise Papermate Ink Joy that we could compare it with. That's a click pen though, very different, but it's similar. Let's see. Well, we can write here. And, you know, it's similar in width, and of course it's a different color. Actually, it's not putting down quite as much ink as these Lifelines. But I always found these Papermate Ink Joy gels to be smooth, so it's a different aesthetic. And then, of course, I've got this boring Sharpie S gel, but that's a 0.7, and that writes really well. So I've got my black ink anyway. And then, you know, I've got, this was the only one I could find, a little mini Pilot G2 Mini. I don't think that these put down anywhere near the ink. Well, that's an old one, so never mind. We're running out of ink in this one, so I can't even. That's just an impression I have that the Pilot G2 are great, but they don't put down as thick of a line, even though it's a, or I thought this was a 0.7, but it could have been the 5, who knows. That's not very scientific, is it? Okay, so then there's the Uni-ball Vision Elite, which is a really cool pen with a nice, I like the way they did their section a little bit better because you have all that textured section. You can choose where you're going to be, and there's no, the step is way back here if there is any. So, and these are really, really flowy. Let's see. This is a green. It's a little bit of a different shade of green, but these also put down a lot of ink. And they bleed through a lot of paper too, so I have had trouble in the past with these. But I'm using them up, you know. I'm using them up as I go. You know, I just throw them in the truck or bring them with me. So, okay, let's put away the old comparisons. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I just wanted to make sure that anyone who might be interested in them could learn a little bit more, and also about that problem there. Or I'm perceiving it as a problem, but who knows? Do you have these pens? Is that normal? I think it's supposed to stay in there. From everything I can see on the others, I do think that was an anomaly that my green one came off. So I'm just putting them back in. Of course, we're going to come back and have our little argument over who gets which pens. Or maybe we'll just put them on his desk and grab them, you know. That would be a disaster. Because I'll never know where any pen is that goes on my husband's desk. But anyway, okay, so I think I'll just head quick over to the library. I like to end my videos that way so I can kind of summarize my thoughts. There, I'm over in my little library room. Good thing, too, that I didn't just end it there because I forgot to mention the weight. You may have seen it on the paper that was down there, but the weight of the pens it's 17.9 grams. And then it's just a little bit longer than 6 inches. I got 6 1/8, and that's inches, or 15.5 centimeters. So they are long, and they won't fit in just any pen case, but I think they'll fit just fine in the kind of little pen, what do you call them? The zip pen cases that I used to use before I started with fountain pens. But most of our fountain pen cases, I had one right there to look at. Hold on, I'll go get it. There. Okay, so what I was trying to say was, you know, like your typical pencil case, they're going to be fine. They're going to fit in there. But I was wondering, so we'll find out together. Okay, this is a rickshaw. No, this is not a rickshaw. This is a Knox Sinclair. And this is what I normally put fountain pens in. Well, it just barely fits in there. I think you could still zip it. So that's good. That's good. Okay, now let's check the actual, the newer model, the one from Rickshaw. So the cases that I generally put my fountain pens in. And it matters to me because I carry all my pens together. So we'll stick that. Okay, it fits better. So it does fit in the Rickshaw Sinclair. No, Rickshaw R. Boy, I'm losing it. I'll have to put this all in the description because I'm not quite together. All of a sudden I realized my cats were scattering and everything. I lost daylight and everything. So, okay, so here's a Lockbee case, and this is primarily for fountain pens. Let's take one out. That, it's going to be too tall for that. It's not going to zip. So, but that's not a really big deal because it looks to me like just about everything I have they would fit in. And knowing me, I'd have them in something like this one, but a little bit deeper. You know, I could probably fit, I know all 5 of them would fit in here, so. Oh, I'm going to have things scattered all over the place. That's how it goes, I guess. But I just really thought I would have, if I had just seen them there and they didn't have a set for me, I would have been scrambling to find all I could find out about them. I mean, that was just such a surprise and everything. So, you know what I'm saying. I thought it would be nice to do a video because the next person that may see these and just be really interested. Oh, hey, that's a pretty good lighting situation. Let's see. See, they just really do some interesting things. It's just that I don't believe that the camera really picks it up. Of course, I've lost all the exterior light now, and it's all just lighting from my overhead. It's just like blasting right in our faces. Okay, what else did we forget? Yeah, I wrote down they're fun, they're casual. For them to grab my attention, these pens, even though I'm just so highly into fountain pens, and you saw that, you know, that Benu one that I showed you. That's the kind of bling that I really like on a fountain pen. So, yeah, and my husband also liked them, and I wrote down we're competing for these. Yeah, we. I'm afraid I'm going to have to get him his own set or something, or because maybe he'd be happier too if he had a black ink one. Yeah, they do all kinds of stuff. That's the. Let me see. I thought the red one was kind of dramatic. Let me get that one. So, I mean, basically this video will just sit here, and if somebody's looking to learn about these, then there'll be a video, I guess. That's my goal. So I just can't think if there's anything else. I don't think so. I saw one when I was looking it up. It said they were on sale at Mardell's. So I don't know if that was just recently or I don't know anything else because I haven't left the house to do any kind of shopping. Just whatever I found on my computer. So that's all, and I think that we covered most everything. And let me know in the comments if you've ever tried anything from this Lifelines brand. I think they're pretty neat, and I'm really happy to be able to just play with them. I don't know how long the ink will last. I have no clue about that kind of thing, but I'll find out and maybe do a follow-up. I'm sure I will on my channel here with my fountain pen stuff, and I'll be writing with them. So thank you very much for watching, and if there's anything I can answer that I failed to cover, I'll do my best. So hit me up in the comments with any questions, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.